welcome to my kitchen. My name is Miss Nuccia and I'm from the Winfield Public Library. And today we're making fruit roll-ups. When my kids were little, they always wanted me to buy the fruit roll-ups. But I often thought, there's so many things that I can't even read the label. And they were so expensive that I always would skip them. Well, now that my kids are grown, I figured out how to make fruit roll-ups. And it's a great way to use up fruit. I had some apples that really needed some using quickly because they were getting wrinkly. So I just cut them up and I cooked them in the microwave. And I'm not even going to mash them or anything, but if you make your fruit roll-ups, you can use applesauce too. And when strawberries were cheaper this summer, I froze a bunch of strawberries. So I'm going to be making a combination today. So you need 4 cups regardless. Any fruit you have, it could be raspberries, it could be peaches, it could be frozen fruit you have in the freezer that you bought for smoothies. You could use that. Anything you have. But today, because I needed to use my apples, I'm going to be mixing apples and strawberries for my fruit roll-ups. The nice thing about it is you know what you're putting in there. I'm only going to put 2 tablespoons of honey in. That's it. You don't even need to put that, but if you want to make it sweeter, that's all you need. So you need to line your pan with parchment paper or a silicone pad. I'm going to use parchment paper. You need to have your oven at the lowest setting. Mine does not go any lower than 170, so my oven's going to be set to 170. And it takes about 6 hours for the fruit to, when you touch it, to feel nice and not sticky anymore and ready. So what I'm going to say, after you get it in your oven, turn the pan halfway through, about 3 hours in, turn your pan, rotate your pan, so it just bakes evenly. So what I'm going to do is I already cooked my apples. I'm going to, I'm going to just throw it in here and see how much I have. I might just use it all. And like I said, it doesn't have to be precise. This is one of the things so I've got about 2 cups of that. I'm going to throw it all in because what am I going to do with it? So I'm going to throw it all in. And since my strawberries were frozen, they're going to add a little bit of water. But that's okay. You just leave it a little longer. I'm just going to take my frozen strawberries in there. You can use a blender. I'm not measuring very exactly, but you can. At the end, I think I'll throw it in my container and see how much fruit I have. Okay, it's going to be noisy. Oh, look at the pretty color. Now, if you make it with raspberries, you might want to take the seeds out. But you don't have to. Okay. So now it's blended. And I said to 4 cups. I'm going to do this right in here. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of honey. It doesn't have to be so precise, but I can figure out 2 tablespoons. It's 1. That's about 2. It's sticking to the spoon. I think I'm going to give it a quick blend in the food processor. Get it nice and incorporated. Now, I think I should have 4 cups. Let's see if we're close to 4 cups. Now, you could use sugar or you could skip it altogether. Almost at 4 cups. Oh, I like the pretty pink. Now originally I had taken out a different pan, a 9 by 13. But, oops, I think bigger is better. So I took out a bigger pan. Start pouring in the center. Because you only want it like 1/4 inch thick, 3/8 of an inch. Don't make it very thick or it's gonna take forever to dry and then it's gonna get tough. You just spread it. This is so easy. You'll never throw another apple away or strawberry. And you can use the back of a spoon. The first time I poured it out, it was too much. So we shall see how this one tastes. So you can invent all kinds of fruit roll-ups. Pineapple with blueberries. Mangoes. What will you invent? So now it's going to go in the oven. Now make it as even as possible. It will even out itself in the oven, but trying to get it as even as possible. I think this looks good. This is good. And now it goes into my oven. The lowest I could set my oven is 170. Now kids, get your parents to help you with this part. I'm taking it to the oven now. And in 3 hours, I'm going to check to see the progress. It now is going in. Okay. See you in 3 hours. I'll check on it in 3 hours. So my fruit roll-ups took a little bit more time. It was supposed to take about 6 to 8 hours. Because of all the liquid in my strawberries, it's been more like 10 hours, but it feels very dry and it feels like leather now. Can you see? So now I'm going to let it cool for about 4 hours and then I'm going to cut it into strips. I'll be back in a minute. Well, as soon as the 4 hours are up. So my fruit roll-ups have cooled nicely and they're peeling away nicely. What I learned is because I used the frozen strawberries that had a lot of extra liquid, and instead of taking 6 hours to bake, it took more like 9 hours. And I did keep it to 175, my oven. So in the future, what I think I'm going to do is not use frozen strawberries. I would use fresh strawberries, although it did work. So now that it's all cooled off, you cut your paper, cut it up, and this is good. It's dog approved. All those little pieces won't go to waste in a minute. This is something fun that you can do with the kids. And then I think I'm just going to cut them into strips. And you can make your strips as big or as little as you want. So remember, 4 cups of your favorite fruit. You can combine all kinds of fruits, leftover fruits. And add 2 tablespoons of honey, or skip it. And just watch it in your oven. It can take longer. And don't mound it up too high, about 1/4 inch. Yesterday when I was making it, I had it in a smaller pan, a 9x13. Then I thought, nope, it's too small. I used a bigger pan, one of my bigger pans. It doesn't matter. I think this is going to make such a nice treat. And then simply roll. Roll it as big or as little as you want and put on a pretty little plate. So I left the paper on. You can take the paper off or leave it on. I left it on, and you can roll it. I think it keeps it together nicer, but you don't have to. You can leave it in strips like that, and then you can store it in an airtight container and leave it for 2 weeks. It'll stay fresh for 2 weeks. Well, these are the fruit roll-ups. They are a lot of work, but they are delicious. We have to check. Ah, it's Pepper approved. She's been here for my pizza video, and now she's here for my fruit roll-ups. Oh, are they good? Pepper approved. So have fun making yours, and let me know how they turned out. Just watch the oven. Don't forget, watch that oven. And it does take a while. Have fun.